Alright, so this video is dedicated to Bigfoot Chungus, aka Pinhead. And this is a 2008 Nova Bus LFS. And he's the one that told me this was in service. And this is a night bus 356. We're going to be going aboard here. So if you guys want to check out Bigfoot Chungus, aka Pinhead, I'll put a link in the video description. This is one of the oldest buses here in service on the STM. Just get myself arranged here. So I may only take this to Atwater, but nonetheless, this bus goes all the way to the West Island, and in fact it's called Des Sources, or Des Sources, which is a large street in the West Island of Montreal. So 28 means this bus was built in 2008, and the 003 means this is the third bus of this series. So the 2008 series, this is the third bus that was built in this series. This bus would take us to the airport technically if I wanted to stay on. And I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of tempted to stay on until the airport. Most likely I'll just take this to Atwater. But he did point out that it's very rare to have a 2008 bus on a night route. And in fact, there was a second 2008 Nova Bus LFS that was running just in front of this one. And of course, LFS means low floor system. Now we have a couple of 2700 buses still left, 27,000 series, 2700, whatever you want to call it, from the year 2007. There's Côte de Neige Boulevard facing north. And by the way, we're on Sherbrooke Street going west. I do have other bus rides on my channel from 2008 series Nova Bus. If you check on my bus playlist, you'll see them. Here's an old building. This, I think, at one time was some kind of seminary for priests. Look at this old tower. That's old, hundreds of years old. I'll tell you what, we'll see when we get to Atwater what the crowd's like, because these night buses tend to have a lot of rowdy passengers. But if the crowd isn't that bad, or if it's only a small crowd that gets on, maybe I'll ride a little bit longer on this route here. We'll see when I get to Atwater in about a minute or two. And we're turning left onto Atwater now. There's Dawson College, another old seminary, and you can see right there is the library, very beautiful library inside. And there's Atwater Metro Station, one of the edicules, one of the entrances, as we are now on the corner of Atwater and de Maisonneuve. So as I mentioned earlier, this bus route goes to Trudeau Airport, Montreal Trudeau International Airport, and then goes west past the airport into, I guess, Pierrefonds. I think it terminates at the Sunnybrook train station, which is part of the Drummond line. Soon to be opening the Drummond Ram line. Used to be, of course, the EXO, and back then it was the AMT Drummond commuter train line. There's Alexis Neon Plaza. And there we have some newer buses, which we'll probably see in a moment, quite a few of them. So this is the time of day, the time of night, time of morning. We get a lot of night buses, and that's all that's running right now are the night buses, which start with 300, their routes. There's a 2017 bus, another 2017 bus. There's a 2018 bus. There's a 2020 bus in front of us. There's Cabot Square. And if you're old enough to remember, or if you were in Montreal, there's where the old Montreal Children's Hospital used to be, right there. Now it's those big, ugly condominium towers. So we'll see what, like I said, what the crowd is like when we get on here. These are all 2020 Nova Bus hybrids. Actually looks like nobody's getting on, so guess what, we'll continue the route, continue filming the route. Maybe you know what, maybe I will take this all the way to the airport, or maybe not, we'll see. Maybe I'll take it a little bit further on Sherbrooke Street where we just came from, going west. I think this goes to around Vendôme Metro Station, so maybe I'll take it to there and hop on a Bixie bike and head home. And that way we'll at least get 15 minutes worth of video. Alright, so we only have 2 people getting on here. Maybe 3 people. And there's the old Montreal Forum. Another historical building here in Montreal. Just 2:30 a.m. in the morning, and believe it or not, I haven't even eaten supper yet from yesterday, Saturday. And by the way, I don't know if I did the timestamp, but it's Sunday, April 18th, 2025. And yeah, 2:30 a.m. right now. We're back on to Sherbrooke Street going westbound. We're now in the Westmount sector of Montreal. A very English part of the city, very old part of the city. All kind of vacant commercial units these days. There you can see Mount Royal, the western slope of Mount Royal. And that's where Westmount got its name. Westmount basically, Westmount means, well, western mountain. There's the War Memorial. Down there is, right here actually, City Hall. Look at that old City Hall, man. That's like a Gothic, sort of like a medieval or old British building. And I highly suggest, if you haven't yet, check out the Westmount Library and the Westmount Greenhouse. And this is lower Westmount, and as you go up the hills, it becomes upper Westmount, obviously. A lot of old buildings here, of course. As I mentioned, it is a very old part of Montreal. Very old architecture. Even the traffic lights in Westmount are quite old. For you traffic signal fans. Yeah, so it's not going to be long until these buses, 2008 series as well as the 2007 series, will end up retired, end up in the scrapyard, or probably like the buses I've seen the other day at the Anjou garage, which, by the way, there's a fun little meme, or I guess you can call it that, in the transit community on one of the Discord servers I'm on. And Pinhead, you're going to know about this, of course. It's the Anjou Hate Club. So a lot of people don't like the Anjou garage because that's where a lot of the older buses were sent and retired. So there's sort of a joke about how Anjou is hated, or at least the garage, because, you know, as transit fans, we appreciate older buses. And I do have, I think I made a video or a short of the 2006 Nova Bus LFS that is at Anjou, retired now. So we have a handful of 2007 and 2008 Nova buses left, and they've even started, I think, retiring the 2010s. So part of this, of course, philosophy of my channel is to document history, whether it's old metros, old buses, and that's what we're doing here. And again, shout out to Pinhead, aka Bigfoot Chungus, for this video idea. Alright, let's ring the bell, guys. And we'll get a view of it, of course, departing. And you'll notice that in these buses, the engines are on the side where the back is. So there's the engine on the side. And of course, all the newer buses have the engine either on the bottom or more centered in the back. Alright, we'll wait for this bus to depart and we'll get the nice acceleration sound. There we go. Remember, check out Pinhead. Check out Pinhead, aka Bigfoot Chungus. That one's for you, buddy. Off into the night she goes. More videos to come.